Hey, welcome back. I just got back from the gym. Mike is going to be down at the brick house and then down at the pond. It's a hot and muggy one, you guys.
Alright, we're pulling into the brick house. I know I said the other day I was done brush hogging for a few months, but I forgot about this spot down here. I'll show you what I got going on. So this is a little tricky getting to. I'm going to have to check this out down here. There's a small stream runs right down through here. I hope it's nice and solid. It looks like it could be kind of soft right here, but we'll see. Yeah, it's not too bad. Now right down in there is a huge hole, but it looks like I can cross right in here. There used to be a swimming pool down here. This is the old pool house, and the previous owners, this is years ago, I actually backfilled this swimming pool for them. It was kind of all falling apart, you know, it was an in-ground pool. So I'm just going to do a quick walk around here, make sure there's nothing in here that I'm going to hit. As far as I know, should be pretty clean. And it's pretty cool. Over in there, there's actually a street light. They used to have a volleyball court over there. I remember when I was a kid. Makes me feel old. All these trees were much, much smaller. And these people that used to live here had parties here and stuff. Like I said, a pool here, a volleyball court over there. And it's all grown up. Now this hasn't been mowed for a couple years, and you can kind of tell looking at it, it doesn't grow quite as fast as the rest of our property because there wasn't much topsoil here after I backfilled this pool. You can see up past the tractor, there's the brick house. It's only a couple 100 feet from over here. Anyway, we'll fire up the tractor, see if we can't get across this little stream here and get started. Alright, we are back up at the house. Had a minor breakdown. Broke the shear bolt. right, we got the new shear pin in. I just have to put the nut on. This little access panel here, it's just not quite big enough. It would be easier to take this entire thing off right here.
Good idea.
I'm going to put the lock washer on it and the nut, and then go finish up what I was doing. So what are you working on now?
A video. So go to Morgan's Off the Leash. That's my channel. There'll be a new video up probably tomorrow. So check it out.
All right.
Pack full of great things.
Pack full.
Pack full.
I was just out the road a couple miles there, and it was pouring down rain out there.
Really?
Yep.
You know, when I was sitting on the deck, I heard thunder. But, well, you better get moving.
I know, right? So the cable guys are out here. I didn't do it. But they think they had a power surge or something. They're up there on a pole. I told them I'd try to mow some of these weeds down for them a bit. Alright, I'm back up at the house. I almost got done what I wanted to, but I'm not having a very good day. I've had this brush hog for about a year and a half now, and I have never broke a shear pin until today, and I broke one, which is kind of expected. You know, that's what they're supposed to do. The shear pin breaks so you don't damage the gearbox. So all I needed for a shear pin for this brush hog was a 1/2-inch bolt about 3 inches long. Has to be grade 2. It can't be grade 5 or grade 8. And I looked through the garage, I couldn't find any, so I said, you know what, I'm going to run in town, go to the hardware store, pick up a couple, and I'll be back in business. Well, I went in there, they didn't have any. So then I thought I'll just run up the road a little bit to the Kubota dealer, pick up a few there. They're out as well. So then I went to Tractor Supply. I bought these. Shear bolt with hardware kit. I bought this at Tractor Supply, Country Line. Now this was a 5-pack, but as you can see, there's only 2 left because I already broke 3 in about 15 minutes of brush hogging. They should call this maybe like a half-hour kit or something like that. And the thing is, it wasn't like I was hitting anything real hard. You know, I didn't hit a couple stumps or anything like that. I was just getting into the dirt a little bit, and that was all it took. So moving forward, I don't think I'll ever be purchasing the shear bolt with hardware kit from Tractor Supply. I'm afraid if I look at them long enough, they'll break. Alright, I am done brush hogging for the day until I get some good shear pins. What I'm going to do here is open this road up. This big pile of mess here in front of me, that's what I bailed out of the pond the other day from over in this corner here. That's where everything accumulated, all the leaves and sticks and debris. This plastic here I'll have to haul off. I'll just set it out of the way. And when I was digging that corner out there, I just kind of tossed it over here as far as I could get it from where I was sitting, knowing that I would have to move it again. But before I get started, back to those shear bolts that we were talking about. I always heard that grade 2 was what you wanted to use, but I know some guys do go with grade 5. So let me know in the comments if you're sure what is the right bolt to use. I always heard it was grade 2. But boy, this is some slimy stuff right here. I just want to get it off this road here, fill in these ruts, because when I go down and mow at my mom's place, I got to go the long way, and it takes a long time. I obviously can't get through here with a zero-turn mower. So I'm just going to bail this over here to the side. And where I'm dumping this at right here, there's a lot of fill in there actually that came out of the pond whenever I dug it all out about 8 or 9 years ago. I hauled hundreds of loads out in a 5-ton dump, but what was left, I just kind of bailed it down in this area right here, and it actually just kind of oozed into place right there where you see it. But I want to get this stuff off of here because this is just muck right here, nothing but muck. and it definitely doesn't make a good road bed, that's for sure. So I'm just going to keep talking about a few things before I forget. Number one is the Paul Bunyan show. We will definitely be at the Paul Bunyan show in October. If you've never been, it's a good time. They've got tons of anything wood related, I guess you could say, from, you know, small log splitters, sawmills, up to big forestry equipment, chainsaws, all that kind of stuff. So we'll actually have a tent there this year, and you know, if you want to stop by and say hi. So I'll try to find a link and I'll put it in the description. It was canceled last year, but the year before we went, and it was a great time, and we met literally hundreds of people that day. So keep that in mind. Other thing is daughter Eva, her driving, she's doing really well. Had a little hiccup there today. No, not her fault, no big deal, but she's getting ready to go to the gym, and she asked if she could take the tops out of the Jeep. And, you know, being a good dad, I said, I'll do it for her. So I went out and popped the, you know, just the two tops out of the front, went in the house, and 5 minutes later it was pouring down rain. I'd looked at the radar, there was nothing on it, and the Jeep was outside, so we hurried up, put the tops back in, and it was a whole thing. But the last couple days, it can be like it is right now. You know, the sun's shining, pretty afternoon, and it can just turn on you. I mean, just turn on you in a second, and it's pouring down rain. I almost have everything I need off of here. What's left, I can just kind of bury on the edge in that big rut. That won't hurt anything. But I am going to need a little bit of fill here. So what I may have to do is get the tractor on the back side of the pond. There's a big pile of dirt there. We'll have to check it out and see. It was sediment that, more like silt. I would call it silt because it washed into the pond. This stuff here I'm calling sediment because it was at the bottom of the pond. A lot of organic matter, but the silt should be a bunch of like fine rock and sand, you know, something like that, almost sandy material. And where that comes from is all these valleys and the stream bed whenever it rains hard. So that's what I have piled up back in the back there. We'll dig into it with this and see what it looks like. If it's decent, I can haul some of that over here. Probably only take, you know, 10 buckets with the tractor or something to get enough. But it's nice to be in the excavator. No shear bolts here. This edge on my left side here, sitting in the cab, I'm going to take some of that dirt off of there because what I'd like to do is make sure when the water comes ripping down this road, it kind of sheet flows off the side of it, and it can't do that with that little berm right there. So I'll take a little bit more of that off there. This machine here, it's as handy as a pocket on a shirt, as I like to say. Got a little bit more of that muck right there. I'm just going to try to grab it with the thumb there. A few little rocks in there. It's not too bad. I mean, I wouldn't want to build like a driveway or a road on this, but for a trail down here, it's not too shabby. All right, Alright, I did about all I could down there with the material that I had. Right here is that pile that I dug out of the back of the pond last year. We're just going to get into it a little bit here, see what it looks like. Now this was really soaking wet when I put it in here last year. It's not too bad really. There's some, it's not the best, but there's little pieces of rock in there, some soil. We'll do a little compaction test. I think it'll work. It'll be good enough for what I need it for. Yeah, this stuff was sopping wet last year when I put it in there. I'll just pull this down a little bit, make it easier with the tractor. I'll go up and get it. Probably take about 10 or 15 buckets down there. We'll roll it in, and my road will be open. Stick out of here. Yeah, that's not too bad. I'll be all right. All right, I don't know how many buckets that was, and I actually need more than that, but that should be enough to fill this hole in here. I don't want to put too much in here. I just want to see how it holds up when it gets wet. But like when I walk through it, it's not sticking to my boots or anything. It should be okay. All right, let's see how this works out here. Should be okay. As I can get the zero turn through here, I'll be good for now. right. It's not too bad, but I'm kind of glad that I stopped bringing that stuff down when I did. You can see it's pumping just a little bit. Once it dries out some, I'll roll it in some more. And then I was thinking, when I build the spillway for the pond, I could always put some geotextile over this. And then, you know, a couple inches, 6 inches of that good shale on top of this. It'll make a nice road. So check this out. I don't know what this is. This had washed into the pond. It's nothing but an old pot. I saw that. I didn't know what it was, but yeah, that came out of the bottom of the pond. Came from upstream somewhere.